Hey, 12th grade, good morning. We are on Tuesday of remote learning. Today, we're just working with the podcast 2 episode, and we're evaluating and looking closely at some of the sources that Koenig uses and incorporates throughout episode 2 of the breakup. I'm going to share my screen with you. Yesterday, during the video, I kind of went through the document. So this is a pretty short video. If you need further clarification, go back one lesson in the videos for 12th grade and just review that video. You have to make sure that you listen to all of episode 2 in serial before you start this work today. Focus objective number 6, I can evaluate the relevance and value of multiple sources. Our objective for today is to build on the knowledge from yesterday in our listening session by analyzing some of these sources that Koenig introduces and comments on in episode 2. And then you want to take what you've understood from that and apply it to the episode 2 worksheet. Some of the sources that Koenig references in the episode are Heyman Lee's diary, a non-cell phone, his employment, some of the poetry that he wrote in his English class. And there's a lot of commentary on the breakup from different characters or different people that she interviews with. Couple of vocab words to consider as you work through this worksheet. Motive is the reason for doing something, especially if it's a hidden or not so obvious reason. Evidence, as we know, is the information that is presented. In this case, because we're talking about a criminal case, it's the information presented in testimony or in documents that's used to persuade the jury one way or the other. And last, we have jurisdiction, the legal authority of a court to hear and decide a certain type of case. So one court might have territorial jurisdiction, meaning that they have the authority over that specific geographical space or region. So your responsibility is to just submit episode 2 worksheet into Google Classroom. This is what I viewed yesterday in the episode. It's now posted into the classroom. So this is the same information that you've seen every week. You have the mini synopsis, the time of the podcast. If you haven't listened yet, you want to click on any of these links here or go into your podcast app in order to listen to the podcast first. Directions are here. In this episode, Koenig examines multiple pieces of evidence that were or could be used against Adnan. However, she also gives the alternative spin on the evidence. So you want to consider in this worksheet if the idea supports the state's case or if it's a non-important detail or an unimportant detail, and your responsibilities are shaded in yellow. So the first part is these 2 diary entries. These are some sources that she brings into the podcast. You want to evaluate in the yellow using the guiding questions in blue. Then you've got these following evidence and sources. The podcast times are listed. The source or the evidence is in red, and then you want to just fill in a couple of words into the shaded section of yellow here. And then your last support and evidence is another diary entry of Hayes, but it's the final diary entry from January 12th, 1999. And again, you're just responsible for the shaded yellow area. And that's all you guys have for today. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'm here for you. Let me know how I can best support you. And if you need to talk through some of the podcasts before you start the worksheet, I'm happy to do that with you as well. Thanks, guys.